February 5th, 2014. Since we had the STAR testing yesterday, you guys are going to be watching this one in class. Your student expectation for today is that students will identify the appropriate function of an X and Y table. We kind of did this on Tuesday, and on Monday in example number 2. So you can use that as a refresher, but we'll go over it again today. You need to understand that your X and Y tables are also known as input or X and output is Y, where outputs are also the answers to your solved functions. So for your HOQ, what I want you to do is create a X and Y info chart for the function half of X plus a -3 when X equals -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. You can do that at the end of the lesson. Okay, so let's look at example 1 here. Example 1, you start with this X and Y chart of -2, -1, -1, 0, or 1, 0, 3, 1, 5. X column, Y column, inputs, outputs. I've already created my info chart right here, my input function output, and put my inputs in and got my outputs. I have 3 answer choices down here. One of these 3 is going to solve with this input and give me that output. What I have to do is go through and work these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put A right here. You got to always test them. So I'm going to put A right here, and A is a -2. Now I'm going to replace X with my input. So I'm going to put parentheses, -2, close parentheses, plus 3. Okay. Well, -2 times -2 is a +4, and 4 plus 3 is 7. Because 7 does not equal 1, or -1 right here, then A cannot be my answer. Okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to check B. Put B in right here, and B starts with 2x plus 3, so I'm going to put 2, open parentheses, my x is now -1, plus 3. Alright, so 2 times a -1 is a -2, and a -2 plus 3. You owe Coach Jackson $2. You have 3. How much money are you going to have left? You're going to have $1 left. Well, 1 equals 1. Okay? So B at least solves our question right here. Okay? You always have to check it twice. If it doesn't work out twice, it can't be your answer. So I'm going to come down here. Since I used up this middle part a little bit with that, I'm going to put B down again. And I'm going to put my 2, open parentheses for the x. I'm going to put a 1 in for x now, plus 3. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 gives me 5. So I work out here and here. If I work out 2 places, definitely my answer choice. Okay? So I didn't even have to work out C because I was able to work out B twice. If you want to, you can go back and you can plug C in on any of these. Now, the reason I skipped 0, 3, if I plug any of these in, because they all end in plus 3, they're all going to work. Okay? Sometimes you have to identify what's going on at the end to figure out which one it can or can't be. In this case, it could be any of these if I put 0 in. Because 0 times -2 is 0, plus 3 is still 3. I put in 0 here, 2 times 0 is still 0, plus 3 is still 3. If I put in 0 here, 0 times a -1/2 is still 0, plus 3. And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. That any one of these, if you plugged in for 0, will look like it works. However, on any of the other numbers, only B will work. Alright, let's go down to example 2 real quick. Example 2, You get your X and Y table again, -2, -1, 0, 1, with the outputs of 5, 4, 3, and 2. Went ahead and plugged those into this input and this output. Haven't done anything with the function. Answer choices are down here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put those answer choices into our function and work them out. Start with A. So A, there's nothing happening to X, I'm just replacing it. So A, I'm going to plug in -2 for X plus a -3. This is like saying you owe Coach Jackson $2 and then you borrowed 3 more. Well, at the end of the day, you're going to owe me $5. Okay, now -5 is not the same as a +5. Get that out of your head right now. These two numbers are not the same. -5 means you owe me money. +5 means you have money. And there's a big difference between those two things. So A, we can scratch out right now. Okay? Let's look at B. B, we do have a negative in front of X, so we have to start with that negative, then the open parentheses. Now we're going to plug in -1 for X, -1 plus a -3. Okay? What you need to understand is that a negative, two negatives make a positive. So this is now a +1 plus -3. That's like saying you owe Coach Jackson, or you have $1 and you owe Coach Jackson $3. Better believe Coach Jackson's going to take this $1 away from you. How many dollars are you going to owe me now? Well, thinking like that, you still owe me $2, which is a -2. -2 is not -4. We can mark out B. Let's try out C. I'm going to come down here, skip 0, just for space sake. C, again, I start with my negative because that negative is out front of the X. Negative, then open. 1 will go in as X plus a +3. Well, -1, like you owe me $1, plus $3, or you have $3, is the same as saying, hey, you gotta have $2 left. C, 2 and 2 works out. C is our answer choice. Alright, guys. I hope that you do well in this. Here before you leave, we'll have 9 questions on it. Similar ABC setup. You'll have to work them out in order to figure out which one is the answer.